everyone, today's recipe is going to be on curry lobster. And I know I've been MIA lately, but it's just because I'm really busy with school and just with life in general. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat, and I'm a little more active than I am on YouTube. So you guys can keep up with me a little bit on Instagram. It's Taste of Trinbago and Snapchat is Taste of Trini. So today's recipe is one of my favorite seafood dishes, curry lobster. And you know we Trinis love to curry everything, and lobster is typically eaten just steamed and dipped in butter. To me, since I've started making curry lobster, it's the only way I enjoy it. So I'm going to share my recipe with you guys. I have 3 ways that I make this. Today's going to be a low calorie one. I'm just going to leave out most of the stuff that I usually put in it. Today I'm just going to share a plain curry lobster video for you guys, and I promise you guys are going to love this recipe. So if you want to see how I do it, then keep watching. So I'm using 4 Canadian lobster tails. If you're using the whole lobster, then you'll want to cut it up how you want it. But I'm just going to use the lobster tails today. All you're going to do is fill up a bowl or a basin with some water, some room temperature water, and you're going to squeeze a lemon in there. You can use lime if you want. Just leave it to soak in that water for about 10 minutes just to get that fresh scent away. And you're just going to leave it for 10 minutes, and then when we come back, we'll cut it up into smaller pieces. And what you want to do as well is, if you look on the underside, you'll see some little feet. You can pull those out if you want, but if it's not bothering you, then you can leave it. So now I'm gonna just cut it into 3 smaller pieces so it's easier to eat, because if you leave it whole, then you'll have to crack through that entire thing to get the meat. So just cut it in about 3 pieces. If you wanted, you can cut it lengthways, or you can cut it how I cut it. And because these are cold water lobsters, the shell is going to be a little bit harder than if you would get it in Trinidad or from a warmer place. So we use a very sharp knife to cut through that shell. So let's start off with the ingredients. I have some salt, and I'm using some Himalayan pink salt. You can use whatever type you want. I have a spice blend here. I have some curry, some black amchar masala, some roasted ground geera, and some turmeric powder that we call saffron back home in Trinidad. I also have some green seasoning. The recipe for this will be linked in the info above, so just click that little eye in the top right hand corner to get this video. I also have some ground garlic, some chopped banadhania or shadon beni, also called culantro. I have a hot pepper chopped, and this is extremely spicy. I have some curry leaves or karapillay leaves, 1 whole chopped onion, half of a tomato, or you can use a whole one, or you can even omit tomato if you want. I have some scallions or green onion chopped, and lastly I have some lemon pepper. And I love to add lemon pepper to any seafood dishes, even though this is not traditional to our curry in Trinidad. So I'm gonna start by seasoning up the lobster tails with some salt. Then I'm gonna go in with some lemon pepper, and as I mentioned earlier, lemon pepper goes so great with seafood. And even though it's not traditional to our curry in Trinidad, because this is a seafood, it goes so great with the lobster. Next, I'm just gonna add my green seasoning. This is a really spicy blend of herbs from the Caribbean. Now add your chopped tomato, and you want to go in and mix all those flavors together. And I'm just using my hands because I just want to get everything in there. But you can use a spoon if you want, because this has pepper in it. So if you don't want to risk burning your hand, then just go ahead with a spoon. Or you can even put some gloves on. So what I'm going to do is cover this with some foil, or you can do plastic wrap. You can put it in a Ziploc and just put it in the fridge overnight, or just for a few hours, because you want all that goodness to soak into the meat. And trust me, you're gonna love the flavor you get when it soaks overnight. So now I'm gonna add some coconut oil spray to my pan on medium heat. I'm trying not to use too much oil these days, so I'm going light on the oil. Once that's heated, add your onion in and let that fry for about a minute. After that minute is up, you want to add your curry leaves or karapillay leaves and just let that go for the next 30 seconds. Next, add your chopped hot pepper and your garlic in and let that go for the next 30 seconds. Now just go ahead and lower your heat all the way down because you don't want the curry to burn. And now you want to add your spice mixture, which is curry powder, massala, geera, and turmeric or saffron. And you're just going to let that fry or toast on low heat for about 3 minutes because you want all those oils to be released from your spices. After that 3 minutes is up, you're going to add some hot water to this. And you're going to raise your heat back up to medium. And let that fry until it becomes clumpy like how it looks here. After you've reached this consistency, now you want to go ahead and add your lobster tails in. So now you want to give that a good mix to incorporate all that curry flavor into the meat. And just let that fry until all that liquid kind of dries up. It's not going to take too long. It's probably going to take about 2 to 3 minutes again. And as soon as that dries down, I have some boiling water on the side. Or you can have it in a kettle if you want. But you want to make sure that it's boiling hot. Now I'm going to add that boiling water to my lobster, and for my size of lobster it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes to be fully cooked. So I'm going to cover the pot now and let it go for about 15 minutes. So after that 15 minutes, it's reduced to about half the amount it had when we started, and the sauce is kind of thickening up a little bit, but I wanted to thicken up just a little bit more because I find the sauce is a little too thin still. So that's going to take about 5 more minutes. So after that 5 minutes, you want to go ahead and add your chopped banadhania. If you don't have banadhania or shadon beni, you can add culantro. It's not as strong, but it'll do the trick. So my curry lobster is finished. You can serve this over rice, or you can even have it with roti, or even by itself. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm just gonna garnish it with a little bit of green onion or scallion, or we call this chive back home. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Leave me all your comments and questions down below. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to see all my latest videos. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! And I hope everyone has a happy Easter.